Production services for the following program were donated by the Community Media Center of the North Bay.
Welcome, everyone, to our 5th annual Sonoma County Poetry Out Loud competition. I have really big goosebumps right now because I know how hard these students have worked to be here, and I deeply appreciate the applause that you gave them as they came out. They've worked so hard to bring us this incredible evening of reinvigorating the oral tradition of poetry recitation. I want to thank the Arts Council for staying dedicated to keeping the arts in our schools and keeping poetry out loud available to our students. Thank you so much. We also have another hero of this program who really makes it possible for the California poets in the schools teachers to go in and coach the students. Another really extraordinary part of this program is that they get to work one-on-one with poet teachers. And I'm so happy to introduce to you tonight Phyllis Meshlam.
Thank you, Karen. Welcome, learners, lovers, in-laws, parents of poetry and the spoken word. It's really good to have you here. Please welcome your host for the rest of the evening, Terry Errett.
Well, thank you, Phyllis, for that wonderful introduction. What a great collection of poets and lovers of poetry. You're in for a treat tonight. I wanted to start off with a quote from one of my favorite poets, two-time United States Poet Laureate, the late poet Stanley Kunitz, who once said, "The poem has secrets the poet knows nothing of." My thanks, my appreciation, my admiration to each of the 14 students who will be performing tonight for their hard work, their grace, and the courage to come before us. I wish each of you the best of luck.
Hi, my name is Jessica Garcia, and I will be presenting Sweetness by Stephen Dunn. Just when it has seemed I couldn't bear one more friend waking with a tumor, one more maniac with a perfect reason. Often a sweetness has come and changed nothing in the world except the way that I
by William
stumbled
Matthews.
through it.
I was miserable. Of course, for I was 17. And so I swung into action and wrote a poem. And it was miserable. For that's how I thought poetry worked. You digested experience.
I will be reciting I Am
Shut.
by John Clare. I am, yet what I am, none cares or knows. My friends forsake me like a memory lost. I am the self-consumer of my woes. They rise and vanish in oblivious host, like shadows
Good evening.
in love's frenzied, stifled
Stacy.
throes.
And the poem I will be presenting is Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Hello, my name is Catherine Wharton, and I will be
wise
reciting On a Drop of Dew by Andrew Marvell. See how the orient dew, shed from the bosom of the morn, into the blowing roses, yet careless of its mansion new, for the clear region where 'twas born.
My name
round
is Irene
in
Gomez,
itself
and I will be reciting
encloses.
Weighing In by Rena P. Espaillat. What the scale tells you is how much the earth has missed you, body. How it wants you back again after you leave it, to go forth into the light. Do you remember how earth hardly noticed you then? Others would rock you in their arms.
The Empty Dance Shoes by Cornelius Eady. My friends, as it has been proven in the laboratory, an empty pair of dance shoes will sit on the floor like a wart until it is given a reason to move. Those of us who study inertia, those of us covered with wild hair and sleep, can state this without fear. The energy in a pair of shoes at rest.
And the first poem I'll be doing is Grief by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. I tell you, hopeless grief is passionless, that only men, incredulous of despair, half-taught in anguish through the midnight air, beat upward to God's throne in loud access of shrieking and reproach. Full desertness in souls as countries, live, silent, bare under the blenching
Phoebe Hong, and I will be reciting Weighing In by Rena P. Espaillat. What the scale tells you is how much the earth has missed you, body. How it wants you back again after you leave it to go forth into the light. Do you remember how earth hardly noticed you then?
My name is Davida
Others would
Lesh,
rock
and
you
I will
in
be
their
reciting
arms.
Teaching English from an Old Composition Book by Gary Soto. My chalk is no longer than a chip of fingernail. Chip, by which I must explain this Monday night. The verbs to get, to wear, to cut.
My name is Joanna Pacheco, and
I'm
I
not
will be
given
reciting
much.
Hope
These
is a
tired
Thing with
students
Feathers
hold up.
by Emily Dickinson. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest, in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could have bashed the little bird that kept so many warm.
David Keith, and
I've
this is
heard
To
it
a Mouse by
in
Robert
the
Burns.
chillest land.
On Turning Up in Her Nest with a Plow, November 1785. Why, slake it cure and timorous beastie, what a panic's in thy breastie? Thou needna start away sae hasty with bicker and brattle. I would be loath to run and chase thee with murder and battle. I'm truly sorry. Man's dominion has broken nature's social union and justifies that ill opinion.
I'm going to be
which makes
presenting
these start
She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron, George Gordon. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. And all that's best in dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies.
Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll.
One shade the more, one ray the less.
'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe, all mimsy where the boar grows, and the mome-raths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub-Jub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. And so with Vorpal sword in hand, a long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood awhile, and thought.
I just want to say briefly that, again, I had mentioned that the Arts Council of Sonoma County has stayed true to their commitment to keep bringing poetry out loud to Sonoma County. And this is also critical in this time. There was just a study done by IBM of 1,500 CEOs, and the number one leadership skill that they identified was creativity. And this is why we say, do not let the arts go away in our schools. It is so very essential that we give all of our students an equal opportunity to have experiences like this. And so I ask that if you are a parent, advocate. Go to your school board, speak up for the arts, have your child come and recite a poem at the school board meeting. Join the Arts Council. You'll find my card out on the table on your way out. Contact me. I can tell you, I can help you advocate. I can guide you to ways to keep this going, because we need your support. Phyllis and I had this conversation about, I don't know, yesterday or the day before. How can we give a prize to everybody? How are we possibly going to choose just a few? And I know for the judges that must be a difficult part of your job as well. Because everybody that was here tonight, everyone who stood in front of this microphone was fantastic. So I think we should start by bringing them all on stage. Jasper and Olivia. Should I tell you stories about them, or should we tell the winners? We're going to give runners-up, our third runner-up tonight. Congratulations to Giovanni Espinoza. Our second runner-up. Hold on. Okay. Irene Gomez. These books are courtesy of Copperfields. Our first runner-up, who will also be available to go to the state competitions if our winner is not able, is Joey Abrego. And the 2011 Poetry Out Loud Sonoma County champion is Phoebe Hong. Thanks, you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Phil.